Welcome back to the Reality Guys. I'm your host, Billy Blinks, joined as always by my co host, Brian
All right, everybody.
and Brett.
I love this show.
We are here to talk House of Villains. This is episode 3, Secret Identities. I agree, Brett. We love this show. I know that our audience loves the show, fellow podcasters love the show. And we got an elimination, right? So the show's cooking now. Like, we're good. We got some blind sides. Quick shout out to our boy Jax, number one guy in the group, out unanimous vote for Jax. He gets thrown back in the wall like a Murphy bed.
Thing to say.
No, it was a lot of fun being here, and I really appreciate you guys having me.
Goodbye.
I had a lot of fun.
Bye, Jax.
So I did really enjoy that. Omarosa hitting the button on him early. Were either of you guys surprised at the result of the vote?
No, unfortunately.
Yeah, not at all. At that point, I was like, it's got to be Jax. I mean, he's a physical threat. They're going to take him out, and especially with the unanimous vote, I was like, there's no way it's not Jax.
Yeah, no, I agree. That part when they said that, you're like, oh, there's no way it was unanimous against Corinne, right? Yeah. Like that just couldn't have computed in our heads. Also, shout out to Jax for not knowing what the word unanimous meant.
That was Bill. That was Bobby.
Oh, was it Bobby? I thought it was Jax. I couldn't see. I just saw the up on my subtitles.
Yeah, that was Bobby.
They delayed this elimination so long that they literally gave Jax 5 seconds to speak and then got rid of him within like the first 4 minutes of the episode. So that was great.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, it's another speaking role episode, so Jax got paid for that episode.
Yeah, and I kind of think like the pace, they did the first thing, like the first elimination. It took a little while to like build up, but I think we're gonna start getting it like
every episode.
I think. Yeah.
Like we said, we didn't really have a problem like that. We didn't like that it was no eliminations for 2 episodes, but they should have just done like a 2-hour premiere, like we said. It would have if it would have been less of a sting, even if we got 2 hours and no elimination, basically to get the whole prologue out of the way and then be moving from week 2 on, that would have been fine. But look, elimination, I thought it was good. The episode really kicks off with Johnny sitting up in the bedroom having a conversation about how it's super loud downstairs and stupid, and so he doesn't want to be down there. And New York hears him say loud and stupid. New York decides, or if you guys know what I'm talking about, Tiffany decides that Johnny was talking about her specifically. Just decides to make it publicly known that she knows what he said, even though he didn't say it. And now we have a great rivalry born, guys. So what do you think about the rivalry?
I mean, it's good for TV. I mean, I just went back and was trying to get pictures for the episode. Like she heard the word people, and that's when her ears perked up like in the bed. Like after watching it, I know what's gonna happen there. So I caught that. But yeah, I think it's good for the show. I mean, anything that's gonna create drama, I'm always here for it.
The drama's great. It's entertaining, but I don't really understand what the gameplay is here. I think Tiffany, she pretty much had a shoe-in alliance with Bananas and Corinne. And then after the blow up, after the blow up, the note thing happened. And I honestly don't even know what Bananas is doing at this point. So it's like he framed Corinne or didn't frame her. I don't even know. I don't know what his goal is there.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to get to that too, especially when we talk about who he decided to nominate. I thought he was creating more problems for himself than he needed to early on, right? I thought the main objective for him this week was, hey, win immunity so I don't get thrown in, because I'm obviously going to get thrown in. But then he caused a lot. Again, it's somebody, it's like almost like they said to Johnny, like, hey, we're bringing you on this show. You're one of the only people who knows how to like play these type of games. We need you to kind of like do some of the crap, like stir the pot. It's like a Johnny Fairplay thing, right? They definitely encourage him to be a shit stirrer, right? Which is cool. Like I said, it's fine. It's just, you're right, Brett, from like, and way of us watching these type of strategy elimination shows from a gameplay standpoint, like Tiffany doesn't know how to play the game. She's not really playing a game. She was genuinely annoyed and thought Johnny was talking about her. He wasn't. But she's not worried about like how that gets to the next vote. We know that because she yells at him before the nomination and at the actual elimination. So it's like she doesn't give a crap, dude. She is so anti him. It's I don't say crazy, but it's just like she didn't need to be that hard off the start.
I think she's anti. She's been fighting with everyone except Corinne, and she even fought with Corinne a little bit, I think, last week. But
she did.
Yeah.
I'm all for it. But I mean, I feel like he nominated like 3 people that were probably like he shouldn't like. None of those people are threats. Bobby's not a threat, and Fisa's not a threat at all. Like they're just there.
Yeah, Johnny's like, you know what, Anfisa, you're being nice to me. Out. Bobby, I just want to blindside somebody. Out. And in New
I
York,
will be very upset if Bobby leaves. I need Bobby in the game.
I mean, we could talk about this now. We're going to talk about everything that happened, but who do you guys think are going to be the 2 up for nomination?
Anfisa and
Bobby. Yeah. I think Anfisa's gonna go home.
Tiffany. Anfisa and Tiffany.
Anfisa's going home. I mean, it could be Bobby and Tiffany, I think, are staying.
Yeah, I think it's going to be between Anfisa and Tiffany. I think people like Bobby. I don't think I don't think he has actually any enemies. The only person he's actually really fought with was Tiffany, technically, with the wake up stuff last week, but it doesn't seem like they were still beefing this week.
Well, the challenge that they're going to do with like secret tasks, at first I was thinking that Bobby might be favored in any competition, but with that one, who knows? So I could see where Bobby's not winning safety then.
It's like very Love Island. Like they do that stuff on Love Island where they have to do like secret tasks to like get a party or something, but it looks good.
We had our own version, a House of Villains version of the note. So after Johnny comes back from the luxury reward from the challenge, and we'll talk about a little bit about the masquerade in a second. He had Omarosa and Tanisha with him, right? So we know those 2 couldn't have been. But he finds a note that says, "How stupid do you think the house is? Bananas, the entire house is going to turn on you." So I mean, I wrote quick. I mean, New York, Corinne, Bobby. I don't know why less. Do people think it can't be Tiffany because she's just been yelling in Johnny's face, so she just like wouldn't write a note? Because I felt like she wasn't really questioned at all about it.
100% her.
That's what I thought.
Bananas wrote the note, right?
That would be
that would actually be kind of sick.
I would love.
Bananas had one of the 2 women he was with write the note. This is what he I'm pretty sure he did this.
That'd be cool.
He
I'm
did do this in like a couple seasons ago, right on the challenge.
I am fairly certain that
I like that
orchestrated the creation of the note. The question is why? Because
I guess maybe to create this like drama like that Bill was just talking about, where we don't see fully what's on their little puppy retreat, but it would make sense if he's going to try to like cause a ruckus. Maybe, I like that. I never thought of that, Brad, but I actually like that theory.
Maybe Corinne's in on it. Maybe like the whole thing is he told Corinne to write it and I'm going to accuse you and it'll be this whole thing, right? Do you think that could be?
No, I think it's what Brett said. It's either Omarosa or Tanisha. They did it on the retreat, and like because the way Corinne's reacting is not like she's in on it. She's like taking it way too seriously.
Yeah, she cried.
She's not in on it, but she's also like the victim of it. I thought the note was his excuse to nominate Anissa or Anfisa, but he's targeting Corinne as the writer, but then basically saying Bobby orchestrated the writing of it, and that's his excuse to nominate Bobby. So I don't really know what his plan is there, because it feels like alienating Corinne, which is, his potential, love interest. And he definitely doesn't have a love interest with Anfisa anymore, like he did in the first episode. So I don't really true. He's cock blocking himself.
The masquerade challenge was interesting, right? I like that they added extras in, and it wasn't just the 9 of them doing it, which obviously made it work a lot better. There wasn't so much you could really see from that. I'm glad they didn't over dwell on that challenge. It was just a bunch of people trying to talk to each other with voice modulators. But shout out to Banaz, got 8 out of 9. I was pretty high score, I thought.
Like I was not expecting him to be like the winner.
I thought a winner was going to get like 5 or 6, honestly.
Yeah.
I thought this would be fairly easy to do in person, because like the shape of people, or their head shapes if you're Corinne, I guess, or at least you say you do.
I'm great at head shapes, but she didn't win.
Yeah, I think you look at wrist, because I saw a couple times where they were like having their arms up. You could see a little bit of their wrist.
That's good. Like as far as like skin color and tone, that makes a lot of sense.
And even just thickness, like too, like you can tell, like, oh, that's a guy's wrist, that's a girl's wrist. Like go from there.
it was hard to see from the actual show, but I guess yeah, with the extras that were in there, that made it a little more difficult because then like yeah, you could have a tall, skinny
Yeah,
extra
right.
so that you can't just be like, oh, that one's Bobby. So
It would actually be kind of awesome if those extras were other villains.
Did they? Yeah, like
Like just like
like
yeah,
Abby
like they
Lee's
didn't
there a
make the
night
show or
early.
something. Yeah.
Abby Lee was there a night early, and she's just wearing a mask.
Yeah, or like one of them was Jax. He just couldn't talk, or like Spencer, like we see later.
Jax would 100% just
He
got
would have talked. He would have
in
ruined
his
it. So,
car and went right back to the valley, bro.
yeah.
There was no way he wasn't stopping. The show might have been filmed in the valley. He might have been like down the house street from his house.
Dude, I think he's in like a jury selection. I don't think he's home.
I mean, they're in LA, so I
Yeah, I
mean,
think he's gonna have to come back.
I'm
the
saying they could probably.
paycheck to get one of them out there just to be in a hood is way more than what they pay extras. They pay extras like $10 an hour. So I think they're gonna go that route.
Just for
Those
the
were like
funds,
those
the
weren't
funds.
even extras. Those were like the assistant producers
Yeah,
and
yeah,
people
right, right,
like
right.
literally like
Like
cameramen.
the sound man.
Brian's dream is to be a
I want to
soundboard
be.
man.
Yeah, I always think go to the sound dude.
um, I thought some of the other things a little more on the light side to this episode. Satan arrived.
Yeah,
It was Danielle Staub. I laughed because Danielle Staub was a very classic Real Housewife of New Jersey. She was in one of the in like the first couple seasons in like one of the major first fights ever on the show. She left the show pretty early on, like one of the first like major ones to leave because of like fights and shit. So um
was she involved in the table flipping? Because I know that was Teresa, but like, was she there?
I think yeah, because it was Teresa versus Danielle. Like that was
Oh,
like
so okay, so it was
they were
against.
like they were against each other. And
Okay, okay.
that's a
She's the
great
one that brought the
YouTube.
book up. She brought the book up. Isn't that what it's about?
Yeah, there was yeah, it's the whole thing. There's a lot to it. It's funny. Like that that's at some point we go back, like we said when we do like the Patreon, Brian, we start doing all the retro seasons on there. Like that's New Jersey is definitely on the list. So
Yeah.
we'll get to that. But
I don't know.
also she wouldn't leave.
Do you think that was on purpose though? They to do that to create like drama?
No, I think Danielle likes being on the camera, and I
Oh,
think she
okay.
didn't want to leave, and I think she did everything she could to just be on a little bit longer. She's like trying to give them advice, like she's ever done anything like
Yeah.
this.
I mean, I feel like they're like, oh, it's 3 a.m. and this chick's just hanging out at her house. Well, they probably finished filming at like 2 a.m. So I mean, she, I'm sure it wasn't that crazy where she's just lingering around for hours.
Yeah, I don't know.
My there was a lot of good quotes that we've talked about, like who wrote the note. They had one, Bubbles and Blindsides was a bananas one. Uh, but my favorite line of the episode was at the nomination ceremony from Tiffany to Johnny Bananas. You saber tooth hammerhead bastard.
You saber-tooth hammerhead bastard. I don't give
That's like a word
That's an
generator.
all-time line.
My favorite was when the producers called Corinne a sad monkey,
The
and
sad
then,
monkey.
and then she heard them.
Like a sad monkey. And then she said she like rolled back. She's like, I'm a sad monkey.
Yeah.
I'm looking
And
forward to next week. I really enjoy the show. I know everybody we talk to who, like you said, who covers reality TV or watching, like this show like strikes with everybody. So really looking forward to continue covering it. Make sure you like and subscribe here and on TikTok. We're covering a ton of stuff right now, from Reality Wednesdays on CBS with Survivor and big Amazing Race. Brett's covering Big Brother. There's a new season of The Challenge. We're doing things like F Boy Island, Southern Charm, Winter House, Golden Bachelor, Bachelor in Paradise, anything on Netflix. There's just basically anything that's kind of coming on that's relatively popular. We're probably covering it. So keep commenting. Let us know what you think about everything. Let us know what else we should be covering. And hit the notification bell too. It really helps with the goofy YouTube algorithm. So until next time, for myself, Brian and Brett, thank you. Peace.